Time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catalfamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to another episode of Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catalfamo. Thank you for joining me. On today's program, we're talking American Legion. My guests in studio today are Neal McGuire and Bill Tinnin. Guys, thank you very much for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
So you both are a part of the American Legion. And for those of you who don't know, what is the American Legion and how was it started?
American Legion was started by a bunch of World War I veterans that got together in Paris, France, and just decided that veterans from foreign wars or whatever just needed assistance and backing, and they just set up their own organization. And in, September 16th, 1919, the Senate granted them a charter, and they became official.
So does the American Legion predate VA? You know, a lot of people are very familiar with VA. Maybe some people aren't familiar with American Legion, but it sounds to me like American Legion was before VA.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Go for it.
The American Legion put together the Veteran Act, which later became the Veterans Administration, because they saw a need to help assist the veterans in their post-war scenarios of injuries and things like that.
Now, how did you both get involved with American Legion? And it doesn't, Neal or Bill, anybody can answer that question.
Go for it. I'd like to hear how you got it.
Well, I got involved just shortly. I have gone to American Legions several times, but being a non-smoker, I always had a hard time of it. But I just moved to Cottonwood a year and a half ago, and I thought I'd check out the Post 25 here in Cottonwood, and it was a non-smoking, so I said, yeah, I'm in. So I got involved in it. Obviously, it's because you have military background,
right?
Which, with the newly signed Legion Act, it has opened the door up considerably. It used to be pretty much limited to war conflicts, having served in war conflicts, but now it is opened up to anyone that has served at least one day of active military duty with an honorable discharge. So now they can join in, and it's something that I felt good about. I mean, I enjoyed the military, but after I got out, it's like, I didn't want to sit and breathe smoke all the time, so I wasn't involved with it. Right. But now I am.
But no, not all posts are non-smoking, and a lot of members really don't even know that this Legion Act has passed. We had one member recently signed up. He got out of the Army in 1960, but he was between conflicts, so it was a blackout date. Well, now with the Legion Act, all those blackout dates are wiped out. If you served, as Neal said, even one day with an honorable discharge, you're American Legion eligible.
Wow. And
so
then
it really opens the doors.
And then what about, I have family that served in the military. Would I be able to join American Legion?
Yeah.
If your father, grandfather, not uncles and cousins, but father and grandfather, mother.
So direct lines, essentially.
Direct line, you can join the American Legion. We also have the auxiliary, so if you were the spouse of a military person, you could join the auxiliary.
Right.
And the Sons of the American Legion, if you're the son of a veteran, you can join the Sons of the American Legion. Right. The actual American Legion, you would have to be the serving person to join the Legion itself. But you can be involved with the Sons or the auxiliary.
Have you guys noticed more membership, more people joining up with the American Legion?
You're the adjutant. You know more about it than I do.
I haven't seen a decline since I joined, since I became the adjutant. We've been increasing our membership. We get a lot of, our post is getting a lot of transfers from other posts where they decided that, wow, I like Cottonwood area or whatever, and they moved here, or not even moved here. Some of them from California and Oregon and Washington belong to our post. But yeah, it is increasing. We are obviously losing some of the elderly members. That just happens.
Attrition.
Now, how about, you mentioned the transfer. What is that transfer process? Do you have to sign up for another membership in a different area, or how does that transfer process work for somebody? Let's say I live in Washington, and I'm moving down here into Cottonwood, and I want to go to the American Legion here in Cottonwood as opposed to the one in Washington. So what is that process?
Well, to be an American Legion member, you can only be a member of one post.
Okay.
Okay. You can't be a member in Arizona and a member in Washington, for example. Okay. But then it breaks down into the other categories. If you qualify to be a son as well, you could be a son in another post and so on. But Legion itself, you belong one place. Okay.
And you transfer, it's relatively simple to transfer. For example, if you were in Washington and a member in Washington, and you wanted to belong to the post in Cottonwood, then there's just a little paperwork that gets filled out, and it moves your one post to the Cottonwood post.
Okay.
Give you an example. Our furthest member lives in the Philippines.
Yeah, no, we were going to. I definitely mentioned that. There's obviously posts all around the United States, but you mentioned the origins of the American Legion is in France, and so you guys got posts in the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, France, Mexico, and the Philippines. So not only does this nationwide, but it sounds like it's got a nice little outreach in the global aspects too.
I think we get some expatriates that move to, for example, the post in Rocky Point. Puerto Penasco, great place for Americans to go, to be by the ocean.
How does one become a member?
You come in with your DD 214, which is just the piece of paper that you receive when you're out of the military, and you pay the membership fee and join up. You have to, like I say, you have to qualify, which is pretty easy now. One day military honorable discharge, and then just come in and join.
And do you have to go into the office? Can you apply online? Is there?
You can apply online. You can go to legion.org and renew memberships. You can sign up that way. However, whatever post you get designated to, if you do it online, they usually assign you to a virtual post 100, and then you have to transfer.
Right.
And then when you transfer, obviously, you need to come in and prove that you've got a DD 214 and get you signed up. Incidentally, the membership, you don't have to be strictly with that post as far as attendance. I could belong to Post 25, I can go to the Puerto Rican post, and I can go in.
Okay.
I'm not joined, but I can attend.
Okay, so if you're joined, like I mentioned, if I was a member of the Washington branch of American Legion, I can attend and go to other post events and go in and out of posts, but I can't be a member. I can't have dual membership, essentially.
Right, and that'd be worldwide. You could go to the Paris post if you wanted. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Go check to see what the. Is it still called the American Legion if it's in another country?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yes.
That's interesting. That's what an American thing to do, to take over the name and just put American right in the front. It doesn't matter if it's in France or if it's in Colombia. I love that. Well, you guys do a lot of great work, and we're going to get talking about that. A lot of the other programs, a lot of the great work that the American Legion does. When we come back on the other side of this break, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Parents, you know as well as I do, there's nothing more important than your children. Don't you love to look in their eyes and see the love? Make sure they can see that love in your eyes by having their eyes examined. You can't tell how well your kids see, but Dr. Houston at Camp-Verde Eye Care certainly can. Call 567-3330 to make an appointment. You'll be glad you did. Camp-Verde Eye Care at 567-3330. They really do care.
Hi, this is Michelle, and I welcome you to Sedona Paint Centre. We are here to help you find the perfect colour scheme and product for your home and business. Enjoy free in-store and in-home colour consultations and free paint samples in a colour of your choice. As a special offer to you, just mention this ad and save an extra 10% and enjoy 30% off store-wide.
Turning your real estate dreams and goals into reality, I'm Claudette Johnson with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. For more than 7 years, I've helped both real estate buyers and sellers put me and my team's extensive knowledge of the Sedona and Verde Valley area to work for you. Come see a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-level home with a pool at 50 Sedona Street. You'll love the Sedona Red Rock views from this VOC area home. We turn your real estate goals into reality. Claudette Johnson at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Arizona.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Philip Catalfamo. My guests in studio are American Legion representatives Neal McGuire and Bill Tinnin. We were talking about at the beginning, the last segment, we were talking about the origins of American Legion. It's branching from not only the United States, but also its origins in France and its other branches in the global aspects. We were talking about how people can get involved. Now, there are other programs that you guys offer with this membership to American Legion or people who are in American Legion. What are some of these programs?
Well, basically, Veterans or American Legion is about veterans and their families, but they also support community events. I mean, try to help the community out. Children's activities, we're high on kids' well-being, okay? You can probably carry it a lot further.
Well, yeah, for the community, Cottonwood area community, we have wheelchairs. This is something that people don't realize. We have wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, all kinds of articles that we can loan to you at no charge. And but we take care of a lot of community situations. We support the Cottonwood Community Schools sports programs, the High Desert Community Kids Football League. Yeah. We sponsor the MMA and the American Legion Riders do a motorcycle safety course annually at the Cottonwood Community Schools and Flip City Gym. The auxiliary unit actually sponsors a nursing scholarship here locally, and that is a great thing. They also do an event called Seussville, where it's for developing reading skills using the Dr. Seuss books. It's a fun activity. Then we also do things like we have a beautiful hall that we can do hall rentals and birthdays, wedding receptions, anniversaries, all kinds of things like that. We also provide the ability to have a celebration of life at the hall at no charge, which is very, very nice, especially for all our veteran friends. But it's open to the community as well. You just need to call and schedule.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys branch out a lot more than just the military. Like you mentioned, it's a community. You mentioned off air, it's a family. Everybody is sort of not left behind in terms of the American Legion. That's incredible.
Right.
Yeah. And all of these medical products that he was describing earlier, those were all donated to us.
Right.
So we loan them out same way. All we ask them to do is bring it back when they're finished.
Yeah. And you mentioned the donations. Now, you guys are a nonprofit organization.
Right. Yes.
Where can people donate, money or medical equipment? Where can they get their donations, or where can they give their donations? Not get their donations.
Well, they can donate it locally at the individual posts.
Right.
But you can also online at legion.org. They have a little button that you can click and actually donate online if you wish. So. It makes it pretty easy that way.
Yeah.
So you have, we mentioned a lot of the programs, but also Legion College is something that you guys offer in case people want to get more information about Legion. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, this is something that if you're wanting to get involved heavily with the American Legion, we have protocols where, it's not just a good old boy organization. We do try to follow protocol. And the college just basically teaches you some of the protocols and how you go about doing certain things. And they also teach you about the American Legion, how it got its start, etc.
Okay, so like if I was one of the heads at the American Legion, I went to the Legion College, got more information on how to hold a meeting properly, maybe some of the other protocols that you guys follow as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how about the American Legion Baseball League? I saw that on your website. That was the first thing. I'm a huge baseball fan, so that instantly popped up when I first looked at it. What is the American Legion Baseball League?
Well, it is a league that, we sponsor the American Legion Baseball League. We don't have one locally. I wish we did. We need some.
And get it out there.
Yeah.
Everybody put that in the works.
Don't have the funding.
Yeah,
we would love to, though.
But a lot of people were involved in the American Legion baseball. Stan Musial, Yogi Berra, big names that got their start with the American Legion baseball and then went into professional. So.
And then, Bill, I know we were talking about this off air. ROTC is also something that you guys are involved in. Don't have an ROTC program here in Cottonwood, but it'd be great to get one started.
Yes, it would. Yes, it absolutely would. Yeah. I think there would be a lot of interest here as well.
Yeah. No, we have local high schools here. I mean, it just, like I said, the baseball league and an ROTC. Let's see if we can get that going here in Cottonwood. What are some of the other services that you guys offer that maybe some people just don't know that you offer that?
Well, we offer the medical support for supplies and things like that for people. We also take care of, there's a lot of homeless veterans out there. And, right now that hits our account really hard. Right. So donations, a lot of donations would go to help those homeless vets, their families. Some of them have kids, whole families.
We also offer 3 dinners a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then 2 lunches, Wednesday and Friday, at very, very reasonable prices. So, sometimes people just don't have the money to go out and spend $20 for a lunch.
And those meals are all fundraisers for us. Okay.
Right.
But our fish fry, for example, Friday is quite a hit.
Oh.
In fact, you need to come and check it out.
I'm going to have to now.
It's not just fish.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, I actually like fish, so I'd like to go check that out. And then you mentioned the homeless vets. You guys offer services for them as well. You kind of welcome them in as well. And obviously,
as much as we can.
Right.
Usually it's housing or just a motel room for the night or something like that. But that one really stretches our finances real thin. Right. So any donations that could come in would very, very likely go to that itself.
And then people can donate on Legion.org, or do they need to go to Arizona or azlegion.org to donate specifically to the Arizona branches?
Well, ideally for our community, if they donated specifically to our post, then it's going to help our local people.
Right.
Okay, it's like buying from a big, huge company. It doesn't help your local community.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And then, man, the fish fry does sound pretty good. You guys got chicken there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I'm gonna definitely have to go check that
out. That's what I eat when I do the Friday night dinners.
Well, you guys got a whole lot of great events coming up. Of course, celebrating 100 years this year, which is an incredible feat. And we're going to talk a lot about that and the event coming up this Sunday. When we come back on the other side of this break, we'll be right back.
Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging uses a state-of-the-art medical digital camera to take a picture and create a map of the body's infrared patterns, later interpreted by an MD specially trained in reading thermography. Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging is the leading medical imaging and proactive healthcare, detecting early danger signs years before other tools, finding early breast disease up to 8 years before mammography may detect it. Schedule a scan with Carol today. Northern Arizona Thermal Imaging. Say yes to thermography.
Northern Arizona Mortgage Corporation is your local choice for personalized home loans, and they've been doing it since 1986. They help home buyers obtain FHA, VA, USDA guaranteed rural housing, and conventional loans. From start to finish, they offer a safe in-person application process with licensed loan originators. Contact Shelley White Collier at northernarizonaMortgage.com or call 634-4251. Visit their office, located at 707 East Mingus, Suite 601, Cottonwood.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Welcome back to Countywide. In our last segment, we were talking about all the incredible programs that American Legion participates in. They help veterans, they help community members, they help homeless vets, offering a lot of great programs. My guests in studio, Neal McGuire and Bill Tinnin, both of the American Legion. And you guys have an event coming up on Sunday, October 13th. Tell us about this great event. You're celebrating 100 years of being an organization.
All right.
Yes.
Runs from 10 in the morning till 7 at night. We're going to have live music. We've got bounce house with slides for the kids, dunk tank, cotton candy machine, all kinds of things. We're still working on getting other activities going, but we've got a number of things going on. The live music, of course. And, Neal, you shoot. Take the rest. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. You pretty much hit it. Like I say, the dunk tank, Bill's planning on being very wet that day.
Yeah. You sitting in the dunk tank, Bill?
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's a lot of members out there that would just love to drown me.
It's going to be a little cold, so.
Well, and hopefully we're going to get people like principals and teachers that want to volunteer to get wet. Yeah. The bouncy house is going to be a fun thing for the kids. They just... Yeah, adults can't get into it, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a lot of fun for kids. They just jump up and down and have a great time. We've got music from 10 to noon with myself playing.
That's right.
We got Dave Jocelyn playing from noon to 2, and then the Renegades are playing from 2 to 5. They're a country band that plays every Sunday at our post in our hall.
Yeah, and then is there an entrance fee? Do people just free to the public?
No, we're going to have food available. It's come one, come all. You don't have to be a member or anything. We would like the whole community to show up.
Yeah, we want the community to get to know us, to know that we're here, and to see the things that we do for the community. Yeah. So yes, it is definitely free and open to the general public, and hope to have a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like a great time. Where can people go to this event at? Where are you guys located at?
We're located at 480
South Calvary
Way in Cottonwood. That's just off of 89A. You turn south at Calvary Way. That's right where the Lux Verde Hotel is, and the Pond Palace building there. You just scoot right between, and we're about halfway up the street on the right-hand side.
Right behind the motel.
Right behind the motel.
Excellent place to stay, by the way.
Well,
yes.
Looked at the rooms the other day. Oh my God.
Well, it sounds like an incredible event. And there was actually one more question I want to ask. Volunteers. Do you guys accept volunteers?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And the same thing, legion.org or azlegion.org to be a volunteer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what makes this work.
Right.
Yeah. We have very, very few paid employees.
And by all means, if you want to volunteer, you know, if you have a specialty, painting, electrician, plumber, whatever, stop
Lord.
by and just volunteer and say, hey, give me a call if you need us. And if you stop by locally,
Neal,
that'll do us great.
Bill, thank you very much. American Legion, they got a great event coming up on October 13th. That's this Sunday. Go check it out. Check out their amazing organization. And in the words of Paul David, we'll talk to you again next time.